Hello, my name is Nicole Solomon, and I will be presenting on Do Ho Suh. So, Do Ho Suh was born and raised in Seoul, South Korea. His father was actually an artist as well and a master of traditional Korean ink painting. For some background in the art scene in Korea, beginning in the 1950s, many Korean artists were influenced by art movements from Europe and North America, and so they began experimenting with conceptual art forms. This led to many Korean artists to produce artwork that blended traditional and global styles. In the 1960s, abstract art dominated the art scene and experimental avant-garde work became more common. Do Ho Suh is part of the generation of artists who were directly exposed to globalization by traveling abroad, which influenced his attitude towards art trends and his work. His approach combines ideas that are both individualistic and universal, reflecting the art movements that emerged in South Korea. So he has quite the educational background in art. He attended Seoul National University, and afterwards he left to study abroad. So he went to go on to study at the Skowhegan School of Painting and Sculpture, the Rhode Island School of Design, and Yale University. So the first work I will be talking about is his high school uniform. This work reflects on the impact of Japanese colonial rule in Korea in the early 20th century through the gakuran. So the gakuran is the name of this Japanese-inspired Korean uniform that was meant for boys, and it's basically black with high collars and gold buttons. What's interesting about this work is it includes 300 identical uniforms, and they're laid out in this grid-like pattern that evokes a sense of discipline and conformity, which is very reminiscent of Japanese culture. And so it symbolizes the suppression of individuality under the Japanese rule. So this is Fallen Star. It's one of his most famous works. So basically, he constructs a house on the ledge of a roof of an engineering building on a school campus. And so his intent behind this work is to address how it feels to be an international student, as he was one himself. And it's meant to address how it feels to be displaced and the yearning that these students have for home. With the house being slanted, it adds to the feeling of disorientation that an international student may feel. This next work, it has a really hard name to say. So it's called Home Within Home, Within Home, Within Home, Within Home. Suh had been using fabric and textiles for over a decade to explore feelings of displacement as a South Korean immigrant. This installation builds on this theme, representing a point where his Eastern roots and Western experiences intersect. The large polyester replica of his Rhode Island home, created with 3D scanning, contains a smaller traditional Korean hanok inside, if you can see closely. It symbolizes the collision and coexistence of past and present, East and West within his identity. The last piece I will be talking about is Do Ho Suh's Almost Home exhibition at the Smithsonian American Art Museum. This installation features an ethereal translucent fabric model of residential hallways that evoke themes of memory, identity, and migration. It transforms personal spaces into shared emotional experiences, inviting viewers to walk through color-coded hallways representing Suh's homes in New York, Berlin, and Korea. Through this work, Suh reflects on his own geographical and emotional journey, encouraging viewers to explore their own notions of home in a world where identity and belonging are constantly shifting. And here are my sources. Thank you for listening.